So I will be giving a talk today, or more a little demo of a threaded server, a TCP server, but you could use it for basically anything else as well using Python's Asyncio. Of course, there are multiple ways to do threading, one of them being actually starting a whole new thread, but in some cases, asynchronous operations like this might be easier done like this. Maybe mirror. There we go. There we go. Now we should be mirrored. So right here, I just have a little program, and I'm just going to kind of go over what it does. Do what? Oh. Okay, there we go. So obviously, we're just using Asyncio and socket. I don't have any external libraries here or anything, but obviously you could extend it however necessary. So I want to talk a little bit about the Asyncio event loop. So when you use an async program in Python, you have one event loop that will manage any subprocesses, tasks, and stuff off of it. By default, you can do, if you have like a main function, you can do asyncio.run on your main function like this. In that case, your main function would be the event loop. But in this case, we just have a standard Asyncio event loop because we don't need to do any prior setup to it. You can create a task on this event loop. And in this case, Asyncio has a start server function that you can start a TCP server. You can also overload it and do HTTP servers and so on. In this case, I just have a TCP server that's listening on port 5001, only on localhost. We're not listening for connections from anywhere. The first function in this, the first parameter in this function is the callback for client connected. So when a client gets connected to this socket, you'll end up getting a reader and writer, which are streams in Python, which you can operate on. And then you run the loop forever until you do Control-C, or in this case, you could do quit, and I believe that would exit. I'm not sure. I haven't tested that part yet. But in this case, it's just an echo server, and it's threaded. So each time a client connects, it will create a whole new subprocess for them. That way, hopefully, you can have enough multiple threads to not slow down existing threads. So in this case, when a client gets connected, you see if the data is not equal to quit. If it is, you just close the writer. If the data, decode the data as from UTF-8, print it to the out console, and then write it back. It's just an echo server. And then on the client side, it's you literally just open up a socket, connect to it, localhost port 5001. You listen for an input with the prompt being that arrow. You make sure it's not equal to buy. Buy would just exit the client program. You'll send it to the client, to the server. Server will send back the echoed string, and you just print it. So it's just an example of doing that. I don't have any highly distributed tests or anything like that to be able to test that it can handle 50 or 100 clients versus a standard just loop. But as a little demo, let me start the server. So Python 3 main.py, and now the server is listening. And in my second shell, I will do Python 3. And now it's listening for input, so hello Techlahoma. And almost instantly it comes back, and you see the server has received that. So there's this little demo about using Asyncio to make a asynchronous server to listen for connections. Any questions about that? No, it's fairly simple, little demo program. I'll throw it up on GitHub if anybody wants to use it or extend it later. It'll be at github.com/usa-reddragon/python-async-server.